responsibility as his mother to make sure the environment he's going into is good.
Duh.
So then why aren't you going to her? You should have been in that house. You should have been talking to her. It's not her responsibility.
In a world where secrets never stay buried for long, Tasha K just dropped a bombshell that's shaking the entire love and hip-hop universe. The internet is on fire, fans are losing their minds. And Yandy Smith is caught right in the middle of a storm she never saw coming. According to shocking reports and viral whispers, Tasha K claims to have receipts, real evidence suggesting something major went down between Mendeecees and Jasmine. And if what's being said online has even a grain of truth, this could be one of the most jaw-dropping scandals the franchise has ever seen now. Of course, we're not here to say it's true, but the buzz is everywhere. Social media pages, gossip blogs, and even fan forums are lit up with theories, screenshots, and wild speculation. Some fans are saying this could destroy Yandy and Mendeecees' marriage, while others believe there's more to the story that no one's talking about yet. Either way, Tasha K's so-called explosive receipts have everyone glued to their screens. Wondering what really happened behind closed doors? So, what exactly did Tasha K reveal, and how did Yandy react when she found out? Buckle up, because this story just took a turn no one was ready for. The night Tasha K went live, no one expected the internet to explode the way it did. It started like any other stream, her usual confident tone, a playful smirk, and that signature pause she gives right before dropping something wild. Viewers thought it would be another commentary on celebrity drama. Maybe something about the latest Love and Hip Hop reunion clips. But a few minutes in, her tone shifted. She leaned forward, lowered her voice, and said there was something bigger than anyone could imagine. Instantly, the chat went crazy. Thousands of people flooded the live comments, begging her to spill what she knew. Then, she said one name, Mendeecees. And just like that, everything changed. According to Tasha, there had been whispers floating around for months. She claimed she had been sitting on this information, waiting for the right time. She hinted that certain people in the industry had tried to silence her, saying she didn't need to open this can of worms. But when she said she had receipts, the room went still. Even through the screen, you could feel the tension. Tasha started describing how she allegedly came across some private messages that she claimed linked Mendeecees to Jasmine. Someone fans of the show remembered very well. Jasmine, who had already been involved in past controversies, had managed to stay out of the spotlight for a while. But now her name was suddenly back on everyone's lips. Tasha described the supposed evidence in her dramatic way, never showing everything at once. She said these messages hinted at a rekindled connection, a phrase that instantly made people's jaws drop. The comment section went wild. Some didn't believe it, calling it clickbait. Others said they'd always suspected something had been going on behind the scenes. Tasha, meanwhile, kept building suspense, dropping bits and pieces like breadcrumbs. She said there were calls, screenshots, and even photos that could change how people see Mendeecees forever. By the time her live ended, social media had erupted. Clips of the stream were everywhere: Twitter, TikTok, Instagram. Memes, fan theories, and emotional posts took over timelines. People started tagging Yandy, asking if she had seen the live, if she had something to say. Yandy didn't respond immediately, but those close to her claimed she was blindsided. They said she had no idea what was coming. Insiders allege that when she finally saw the video, she was in disbelief, staring at the screen, shaking her head, trying to piece everything together. Meanwhile, Jasmine's name was trending. Old interviews, old clips, even scenes from past seasons started resurfacing. Fans started revisiting moments that once seemed harmless but now felt suspicious in hindsight. One viral thread claimed that Jasmine had once hinted in a past episode that she still had unfinished business. No one took it seriously at the time. But after Tasha's reveal, those words hit differently, behind the scenes. Sources claimed Yandy called Mendeecees right after seeing the video. They said her voice was calm at first, but it cracked when she mentioned Jasmine's name. "Tell me it's not true," she allegedly said, according to someone close to the couple. Mendeecees, on the other hand, was said to be stunned. He reportedly told her that it was all lies. that Tasha was doing what she always did, spinning stories for views. But Yandy, emotionally drained, wasn't sure what to believe. She told him she needed space, that she couldn't process this with cameras flashing and blogs posting every minute. The following day, fans spotted Yandy out without her wedding ring. The pictures spread fast, adding fuel to the fire. Some claimed it was just a coincidence, that maybe she took it off for a shoot. But others believed it was a sign that the story had already begun to affect their marriage. The love and hip-hop community thrives on drama. But even by its standards, this was something else. It wasn't just a rumor. It was a storyline unfolding in real time with emotions raw and public. Tasha, seeing the storm she'd started, went live again the next night. This time, her tone was even more confident. She said she stood by every word. She told viewers she'd never release anything that wasn't verified and that she had double-checked every detail. Fans who once doubted her started to listen differently. She mentioned that the messages weren't new, that they had been exchanged months before Mendeecees and Yandy renewed their vows. That detail hit hard. People started connecting dots, speculating that this could explain certain awkward moments from the show scenes, where Yandy looked distant or avoided certain topics. Inside the industry, whispers grew louder. Other podcasters and insiders began chiming in, each adding their own exclusive information. Some said Jasmine had been trying to move on and didn't want her name dragged back into drama. Others claimed she was preparing to speak out. It was a whirlwind of voices, all saying different things, all keeping the story alive. The truth was still unclear, but the noise was deafening. Through all this, Yandy's silence became the loudest statement of all. Her social media went quiet, her usual motivational posts disappeared, and her fans grew worried. People flooded her comments sections with messages of support, others with curiosity. "We love you, Yandy," one comment read. "Don't let this tear you down." But some weren't as kind, asking directly if the rumors were true. It was a difficult place to be in, facing public speculation while trying to protect your family. Mendeecees, meanwhile, posted a cryptic story, just a black background with the words, "Truth always wins." Fans debated whether it was directed at Tasha, at Yandy, or at the world in general. The more he stayed vague, the more people speculated. Every move, every post, every word was dissected, analyzed, and turned into content. Even old interviews were being rewatched, with fans trying to catch signs they might have missed before, and then came the screenshots. Tasha posted blurred images of what she claimed were the messages she had mentioned in her live. They weren't completely readable, but certain phrases stood out. "Can't believe we're talking again." One message seemed to say. Another line read, "We both know what happened that night." The names were hidden, but fans instantly assumed who was involved. Within minutes, the comments flooded in. "That's Mendeecees," some wrote. "It's obvious." Others defended him, saying people were reading too much into it. But the damage was done. The seed of doubt had already been planted by the weekend. Everyone was talking about it. Blogs published timelines comparing Tasha's claims to known events in Mendeecees and Yandy's lives. Fan podcasts held long debates, some siding with Tasha, others defending Yandy and Mendeecees. It felt like the entire love and hip-hop world was holding its breath, waiting for anyone to break the silence and say what really happened. But all they got was more mystery, more emotion, and more fire feeding the story that refused to die down as the weekend chaos continued. Things took an even more unexpected turn. Late Sunday night, an anonymous blog posted a voice note claiming to feature Jasmine's voice. In it, the woman could be heard tearfully saying, "I didn't mean for it to go this far." Though the recording wasn't confirmed, people instantly connected it to the ongoing scandal. Within hours, hashtags like #JasmineSpeaks and #Mendeecees began trending. The online crowd went wild. Some fans believed the voice note was real, while others said it was another setup to make the story look bigger than it actually was. But the internet doesn't wait for confirmation, it builds stories in real time. By Monday morning, Yandy's close friend and Love and Hip Hop castmate, Kendra allegedly spoke out on a live stream, saying she had been checking on Yandy nonstop. Her voice was soft but serious as she said, "She doesn't deserve this. She's always stood by him, even when the world turned its back." That small comment was enough to send fans spiraling. People started revisiting the early years of Yandy and Mendeecees' relationship, remembering how she'd held everything together while he served time, raised the kids, and kept the family strong. To think that all that loyalty could end in heartbreak made fans emotional. One viral post said, "If this is true, Yandy deserves the world and more. No woman should ever find out through the internet. Woman should ever find out through the internet." Meanwhile, new layers to the story began to appear. A few gossip accounts claimed that Jasmine had recently been spotted at an event in Atlanta, where Mendeecees had also been present. Photos from the event didn't show them together, but fans were quick to draw conclusions. Some pointed out the timing just days before Tasha's live and said it couldn't be coincidence. Others believed it was nothing but a convenient overlap that the internet had blown out of proportion. Still, the story kept growing. Every photo, every old clip, every vague caption became potential evidence. Behind closed doors, sources close to Mendeecees said he was furious. He reportedly felt ambushed, insisting that Tasha's claims were false and that he had never done anything to disrespect his wife. But frustration wasn't enough to stop the public narrative. Once the internet grabs a story like this, it rarely lets go. Mendeecees was said to have called Tasha's claims dangerous, saying they were hurting his family. But Tasha wasn't backing down. In her next live session, she doubled down, saying she had more that she hadn't even released yet. That one sentence reignited everything. People started speculating about what else she could possibly have. Did she have recordings? Photos? More messages? Tasha didn't say, but her knowing smile during the live said it all. Theories exploded across social media, each more detailed than the last. One thread claimed that Jasmine had allegedly reached out to a close friend of Tasha's weeks earlier. Another said that Tasha had been tipped off by someone inside the love and hip-hop production circle who'd seen things they weren't supposed to. Whether true or not, every rumor added fuel to the already blazing fire. Meanwhile, Yandy remained silent. Friends claimed she had taken a break from filming and was spending time with her kids, trying to stay grounded. One insider said she had told her team not to post anything on her social media because she didn't want to feed the gossip. But silence can be powerful, and in her case, it spoke volumes. Fans started calling her the definition of grace, saying she was handling the storm with dignity. Others, however, felt that silence meant uncertainty. They wondered if she was struggling behind the scenes more than she was letting on. In the midst of all this, a small twist came when a screenshot surfaced showing a message allegedly sent from Jasmine's account. It read, "People only hear one side. Maybe it's time I tell mine." That short message sent the fandom into overdrive. Everyone knew that if Jasmine spoke out publicly, it would take the story to a whole new level. Bloggers started posting countdowns, predicting when and how she might break her silence. Tasha hinted on her show that Jasmine might be preparing to sit down for an exclusive interview, and the internet exploded with anticipation when the supposed interview finally dropped a few days later. It wasn't exactly what people expected. The woman in the video, believed to be Jasmine, didn't confirm or deny the rumors directly. She spoke in vague terms about emotional manipulation, about being promised things that never came true, and about learning to move on from the past. Every line felt loaded. Every word left open to interpretation. Some fans took it as an indirect confirmation that something had happened between her and Mendeecees, while others said it sounded like someone trying to clear their name without adding more drama. But for Yandy, that interview was the final push. According to reports, she finally confronted Mendeecees in private. A source close to the couple claimed that the conversation got intense, that voices were raised, and that emotions spilled over. Yandy allegedly said, "I've fought too hard for this family to be embarrassed again." To which Mendeecees reportedly responded, "You're believing lies over love." No one knows exactly how that night ended, but it was clear the tension was at an all-time high. Meanwhile, fans on social media began choosing sides. Some stood firmly with Yandy, saying she'd always been the backbone of their relationship. Others argued that everyone deserved to tell their own side of the story. Fan pages started comparing this drama to past love and hip-hop scandals, calling it the biggest betrayal since the early seasons. And just when people thought things couldn't get more complicated, a mysterious post appeared on Jasmine's page the next day, a single black heart emoji. No caption, no explanation. It was simple, but the message behind it sent everyone spiraling again. Within hours, that post had thousands of comments. Some begged her to tell the truth. Others accused her of playing the victim. A few defended her, saying nobody knew what really went on behind the scenes. It was messy, emotional, and completely unpredictable, the exact kind of chaos that keeps viewers glued to the screen. And through it all, Tasha sat comfortably in her seat, sipping from her glass and watching the numbers climb. She had once again done what she does best, turned the internet upside down with just a few words and a promise of proof. By the end of that week, even major entertainment outlets had picked up the story, though most framed it carefully, saying rumors are circulating or allegations have emerged. Still, the buzz was too big to ignore. The story had moved beyond the gossip community, had become a cultural conversation. People weren't just talking about the scandal anymore. They were debating loyalty, trust, and what fame does to relationships. It was no longer just about Mendeecees and Jasmine, it was about how far someone should go to chase the truth. And what happens when that truth tears through a family's peace, as the dust refused to settle. A new chapter began unfolding behind the scenes. A few insiders claimed that producers of Love and Hip Hop were already discussing how to handle the situation in upcoming episodes. Some sources said the cameras had quietly started rolling again, hoping to capture the real emotions playing out between Yandy and Mendeecees. Whether it was for reality TV or real life, nobody knew, but everyone wanted to see how it would end. The tension between them was said to be thick, like walking on glass. Yandy was reportedly keeping her distance, showing up only for what was absolutely necessary. Mendeecees, on the other hand, was trying to fix things privately, telling close friends he didn't want their personal pain to become another public storyline. But by then, it was too late. Once something lives online, it becomes part of the culture. Tasha K, meanwhile, continued to feed the frenzy with hints and cryptic updates. In one of her latest live streams, she said, "People can say what they want, but the truth always leaks. I'm just the messenger." That line alone sent fans into another spiral of speculation. Many took it as confirmation that more was still to come. Some viewers even claimed that Tasha had been sent additional receipts by someone close to Jasmine. Whether that was true or not, the statement kept her audience hooked. Every night, thousands tuned in, waiting for the next twist, the next screenshot, the next moment that would blow everything open again. But the emotional cost of the chaos began to show. Friends close to Yandy said she wasn't sleeping well. She had reportedly been spending her nights talking to close confidants, replaying moments from her marriage, wondering where things went wrong. One friend shared that Yandy had said, "I gave everything for this family. I stood by him through the darkest times. Why do I have to prove my worth again?" That raw emotion resonated deeply with fans. Comments flooded her old posts with words of love, encouragement, and solidarity. People began using hashtags like #StandWithYandy and #ProtectYandy as messages of support. Mendeecees, however, stayed mostly silent. He posted workout clips and motivational quotes, trying to appear calm amid the storm. Some fans believed this was his way of coping. Others accused him of pretending nothing was wrong. A clip from one of his recent appearances began circulating online, an interview he had done weeks before the drama broke, where he talked about trust and communication in relationships. The irony wasn't lost on viewers. That old video resurfaced everywhere. Its captions like "This didn't age well, and the universe always exposes the truth." And then Jasmine resurfaced again, this time more directly. She went live on her own account for the first time in months. The live began quietly, her face serious, her tone soft but steady. "I didn't want to talk about this," she said. But when people keep painting their own version of you, at some point you have to speak. The chat exploded with comments, thousands of people watching in real time. She didn't name anyone, but her words were heavy with implication. She spoke about being tired of being the villain, about owning mistakes but not lies, and about trying to move on when the past keeps getting dragged back. Viewers dissected every sentence, every pause, every flicker in her expression. After the live ended, the internet went wild again. Some said Jasmine's tears seemed genuine, that she was finally speaking her truth. Others called it damage control, a way to clean her image. But the timing was undeniable. Her going live right after Tasha's last stream felt too coincidental. Within hours, both her and Yandy's names were trending again. Blogs released side-by-side headlines, fan accounts made comparison videos, and everyone had an opinion. Some even claimed that Yandy had secretly watched the live and unfollowed a few people connected too. Jasmine's circle afterward, though no one could confirm it. Meanwhile, Tasha released a short video the next day, smirking as she said, "Didn't I tell y'all? Truth doesn't hide forever." That one sentence reignited everything again. It was as if she had an invisible button that could reset the entire internet's focus whenever she wanted. Her following grew even larger, and so did the controversy. She started teasing that she had audio clips and unseen footage, but that she wouldn't release them out of respect. The way she said it, though, made it clear she still had more ammunition if things got messy. Yandy's close circle, exhausted from the constant attention, reportedly tried to convince her to address the rumors publicly. They said it might be the only way to control the narrative. But Yandy wasn't ready. She told them she needed time to breathe, time to think, and most importantly, time to figure out who was really standing by her. For her, it wasn't just about the marriage anymore. It was about trust. Every call, every text, every old message now felt suspicious. Even her smallest memories had started to feel heavy, colored by doubt. In the meantime, Mendeecees made a rare appearance in a podcast interview. The hosts tried to tread carefully, but of course they couldn't ignore the elephant in the room. When asked directly about Tasha K's claims, he laughed softly and said, "I'm not here to entertain rumors. People love chaos, but I live in peace." Comment made headlines instantly. Some took it as him brushing off the allegations. Others saw it as arrogance and unwillingness to take accountability. One particular line from that interview, "The truth don't need defending," became a meme overnight. People edited it over clips of Tasha laughing, Jasmine crying, and Yandy walking away. Back on social media, fans were growing restless. They wanted answers, closure, clarity, something solid after weeks of speculation. When none came, they began creating their own stories. A few fan pages even posted fabricated text exchanges claiming they were between Yandy and Jasmine. They were proven fake later, but not before they spread to millions of viewers. It was getting harder to separate truth from fiction. Everyone had an angle, and every angle added another twist. Then came the unexpected twist that no one saw coming. A post appeared on a private gossip forum claiming that a third person, someone from Mendeecees, Old Circle, was about to speak out. The post didn't name anyone, but suggested that this person had seen it all and had nothing left to lose. Instantly, fans started guessing who it could be. Was it an old friend? A family member? A former co-star? Whoever it was, the possibility of new revelations kept everyone on edge. Through it all, Yandy was said to be holding things together for her children. She reportedly told her team, "Whatever happens between adults, my kids come first." That one statement, shared quietly by someone close to her, softened the entire conversation for a moment. Fans respected her strength, and even some critics paused to acknowledge her grace. But the calm didn't last long. Every time things seemed to settle, something new surfaced: a blurry photo, a mysterious post, a rumor about upcoming episodes. It felt endless, like a loop of emotion that no one could escape by this point. What had started as one live stream had turned into a full-blown digital storm. It wasn't just about betrayal or love anymore. It had become a story about perception, fame, and the cost of public life. Tasha, Jasmine, Yandy, and Mendeecees had all become characters in a real-world drama that millions couldn't stop watching. And as the days went by, the only certainty left was that the truth, whatever it was, had yet to be fully told. As days turned into weeks, the entire situation began to feel like a never-ending soap opera. Every hour brought a new update, a fresh rumor, or a subtle response that fans dissected like detectives solving a mystery. The energy online was electric, but for the people involved, it was emotionally draining. Yandy had gone from posting daily to completely disappearing from social media. Her usual motivational tone had vanished, replaced by silence that spoke louder than any post could. Friends close to her revealed that she was focusing on her kids, trying to keep life as normal as possible despite the chaos. But even her efforts to stay quiet couldn't stop people from talking. Paparazzi photos began surfacing, showing her looking distant, wearing sunglasses even indoors, as if hiding from the world's curiosity. Mendeecees, on the other hand, started showing subtle signs of frustration. He had always been known for his calm demeanor, but recently he seemed agitated. During one of his live Q&A sessions, when a fan asked him about the situation, he sighed deeply and said, "Y'all really believe everything y'all see online?" It was a short response, but it revealed his exhaustion. That clip went viral instantly, with thousands of comments debating his tone. Some said he sounded defensive. Others said he just seemed tired of the drama. Either way, it didn't help. The story kept growing, feeding off every reaction. Meanwhile, Tasha K dropped another twist. During one of her episodes, she played a short audio clip where a woman's voice could be heard saying, "I shouldn't have answered that call." She didn't name anyone. But the internet didn't need much context. Instantly, fans claimed it was Jasmine. The audio was vague, unclear, but it was enough to send social media spiraling again. The way Tasha presented it with her signature smirk and dramatic pause made it sound like she knew much more than she was letting on. She told viewers that she wasn't done yet, that there was one last piece of the puzzle. The phrase "one last piece" started trending, with fans speculating endlessly about what she could mean. Jasmine, meanwhile, seemed caught between defending herself and staying silent. One day she posted a quote that read, "Sometimes silence is the loudest response." And the next day she uploaded a picture of herself smiling with the caption, "Unbothered." But her followers weren't letting her off that easy. The comments under her posts were filled with accusations, questions, and even sympathy. "We just want the truth," one comment read. Another said, "You owe Yandy an explanation," but Jasmine didn't respond directly. Her silence added mystery, and the mystery kept the story alive. Then, unexpectedly, Yandy made her first public appearance since the scandal broke. It was at a charity event she had already committed 2 weeks earlier. She arrived, poised, graceful, and dressed in a stunning white outfit that made headlines within minutes. Cameras captured her smiling politely, greeting people, but those close to her said the smile didn't reach her eyes. When asked by reporters if she wanted to comment on the rumors, she simply said, "I'm focused on what matters most, my family and my peace." That one line broke the internet. Fans flooded Twitter and Instagram with messages of support, calling her a queen for handling herself with such strength. Even people who weren't fans before began praising her composure. But while Yandy was trying to rise above it all, Tasha wasn't letting go. She posted a teaser for her next live stream, with a caption that read, "If you thought it was over, you were wrong." The teaser alone was enough to pull in hundreds of thousands of views before the stream even started. Fans were desperate to know what else she had. When the live began, she spoke slowly, deliberately, clearly enjoying the tension. "This isn't about tearing anyone down," she said. "It's about exposing the truth." Then she claimed that one of her sources had reached out again, providing more context to the earlier messages she'd shown. She hinted that those messages suggested an emotional connection between Mendeecees and Jasmine, even if it wasn't physical. According to her, the two had allegedly been communicating about unfinished feelings during a time when Mendeecees was going through a rough patch. She said the messages showed a bond that crossed the line, even if nothing physical had happened. It was the kind of revelation that blurred the line between emotional and romantic infidelity, something that made the story even more complicated. Fans immediately started debating whether emotional cheating was just as bad as physical cheating. The topic exploded online with podcasts, talk shows, and influencers all weighing in. Mendeecees, for his part, denied it all once again. A close friend of his told an outlet that he felt set up and targeted. He reportedly said, "They're trying to twist every little thing. You can't even talk to someone these days without it becoming a scandal." But those words didn't calm things down. They added fuel to the fire. People started questioning why he was talking to Jasmine at all, especially if it was truly innocent. The situation grew more tangled by the day. It's like a web with too many threads to unravel. Behind closed doors, Yandy was said to be at a breaking point. She had been quiet, composed, and patient for weeks. But according to insiders, she finally broke down one night and confided in a close friend, saying she didn't know if she could trust him anymore. She reportedly said, "Even if it's not true, the fact that I have to question it says everything." That raw honesty struck a chord with people when it leaked to the press. It was something many could relate to. The pain of doubt, the hurt of not knowing what to believe. Then came another shocker. Rumors surfaced that Jasmine had been approached by another major gossip channel for a sit-down interview. To clear her name, the news of that upcoming interview hit the internet like lightning. Everyone wanted to know what she would say next. Some fans begged her not to do it, fearing it would only make things worse. Others said it was time for her to tell her side once and for all. And through it all, Tasha posted a cryptic message that said, "Be careful what you wish for." By the time the next weekend rolled around, anticipation had reached its peak. The entire love and hip-hop audience was on edge, waiting for Jasmine's rumored interview to drop. Leaks suggested that she was going to speak from the heart, whatever that meant. The world was watching, Yandy was preparing for the worst. And Mendeecees was caught in the middle of a storm that no one could have predicted. The stage was set for another explosion, one that would either clear the air or set everything on fire all over again. And just like that, this entire situation has turned into one of the most talked about sagas in reality TV history. What started as whispers online has become a storm of emotions, speculation, and divided loyalties. Tasha K's so-called explosive receipts shook the internet. Jasmine's silence kept everyone guessing, and Yandy's calm response only added more mystery to it all. Fans are still debating every word, every post, and every look, trying to piece together what's real and what's rumor. Some believe this could mark the end of Yandy and Mendeecees' picture-perfect love story, while others think it's just another test that will make them stronger. Either way, the truth remains hanging in the air like a cliffhanger. No one can stop watching, but one thing's for sure, the story isn't over yet. If there's one thing we've learned from this chaos, it's that in the world of fame, love, and loyalty, nothing stays hidden for long. Whether another receipt drops tomorrow or someone finally decides to tell the full story, this drama has already earned its place in the Hall of Unforgettable. Reality scandals? Now it's your turn. What do you think really happened? Do you believe Tasha K's claims? Or do you think it's all been blown out of proportion? Drop your thoughts in the comments below and let's get into it. Don't forget to hit that like button if you've been following every twist of this wild story. Subscribe to the channel so you don't miss the next update. And turn on the bell icon because, trust me, when the next chapter drops, you'll want to be the first to know.